Welcome back to Beautifully Grounded. My name is Desiree. For those of you who do not know me, make sure you check out our intro video. That way you can get more information on the channel. And as always, like, comment, subscribe, share, ask questions, all of that great stuff. Where have I been? I haven't been posting. I haven't been really doing much because I was in a 5-day course through a Facebook group that I am in for mystics, witches, psychics, mediums, all of that great stuff. And the course was called Reclaim. What Reclaim is basically a course to help you or whoever is on the journey and wanted to do the free course, a course for them to reclaim their energy, a course for me to reclaim my energy, whether I have been letting it be taken by different obstacles, different things and stuff like that in my life, or if I'm just drained of energy from work, trauma, things like that, all type of great stuff. I'm gonna get more in detail with that, but I wanted to finish the course first and then update you guys on each day, what we had to do, what the process was, and how it affected me. And I can be honest with you, it changed a lot of things that I thought I knew or I thought that I was doing right or wrong. A lot of different. I'm going to be as open as I possibly can. So day one was Dogma. Now, if you don't know what Dogma is a set of principles that have been laid down by someone in authority, someone in power, or just a group of people in general. Have you ever felt like you didn't fit in somewhere because of the rules that they placed on you or the restrictions that they placed on you and things like that of that sort? So how the format of Reclaim was set up is that there was videos. We had to watch the videos. Sometimes there were meditations in the videos. Sometimes there was just information. I would meditate before and then watch the video and just write down any thoughts that came to me during the video, and I got a lot of great information. So the first thing I learned about in the first video was that our DNA, 95 to 98% of our DNA is classified as junk. Yeah, junk. Now, there are studies on this. You can definitely look them up. I know I did when I heard this. But, yes, 95 to 98% of our DNA is considered junk DNA because it does not have protein matter. And what protein matter does is that's what gives us our physical, fleshy cells. That's what makes up our body and things like that. So the rest of the 95 to 98% that is considered junk because scientists can't explain it. And like we all know, when things can't be explained, it just doesn't make sense. And that's how we do it until we figure out what it is. But apparently, that 95 to 98% is what connects us to our soul, our higher selves, the spirit, the stars, and things like that. And that's why we feel energy the way that we do. We're able to feel energy. Everyone can feel energy. Have you ever been somewhere and felt somebody staring at you? You can feel somebody staring at you because that's energy being passed upon you. Or when somebody is getting really close to you but not touching you, you still feel a tingle in your body or a tingle in that spot because that's energy radiating from that person. Energy radiates, and we can feel that. So that's why that portion of the DNA is considered junk. But we also talked about being a do-gooder and a people pleaser. So a lot of people go through life and we only do things to please others. We only do things because that's the right thing to do, or that's what we're supposed to do, or this is how I become successful, this is how I get ahead in life. A lot of us go to school, go to college, get a job, and live out the rest of our lives. That's just how it is. That's what we know, and that's what has been proven to work sometimes, not all the time. But it's just the way that things are. Are you doing things because this is what you think you're supposed to be doing, or this is the right way you're supposed to be doing this? Do you feel like you take on business ventures because it's the right thing to do, or this is the good thing to do, this will be what brings me ahead? Or are you doing it because it's something that you really love or you're really passionate about? A lot of us are weirdos. A lot of us like certain things that other people may not find interesting, and sometimes we can't express that because we fear that it's not accepted because of dogma. These set of principles that say, well, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to do this and this and this and this. It took a lot for me to just say, oh yeah, I practice witchcraft. First of all, I'm Hispanic and black. Black side, religious. Hispanic side, religious. And I have a lot of friends and other people that are really close to me that are very religious. So with me to just come out and say this and go against that dogma that society has placed on me, it took a lot. And I was really nervous at first because I was like, well, what if these people stop talking to me? What if these people don't like me? What if these people don't accept me? But at the end of the day, all I could think was, well, what's going to make me happy? Am I going to be happy going by societal norms of you should practice with this religion, or you should follow these rules, or you shouldn't do this because that's a sin, or you shouldn't do this because that's the devil? If I would have sat and went with that societal dogma, I would have been miserable. And I know that for a fact because I was miserable. Before I was able to do what I love and do what makes me happy, I was miserable. I had anxiety, I had stress, I had depression because I wasn't happy. I wasn't doing anything I wanted to do. I was doing what society wanted me to do and what other people wanted me to do. And that just slowed me down. A lot of times, we as people, we are do-gooders and we are people pleaser because we try to find value. We're all about value. We're trying to find our own value. Like, what am I good at? What do I offer other people? When really we should focus more on what do we offer ourselves? How can we help ourselves and be happy? Maybe the way that you help yourself is helping others. For some people, that's not the case. We try to find our own value, and we go about that in many different ways. But the point of reclaim is to find your way, to reclaim your energy for your own, to do things your way and be happy. Because how many times do we see someone who is in a job that they hate, whether it pays good, whether it doesn't, if they're in a job that they hate because that's what they thought they were supposed to do? It's really more common than it's supposed to be, because people aren't going against the dogma. They aren't going against the societal principles of what should be done. And so a lot of us are ended up miserable, either chasing a dollar or just trying to survive to the next day. Are you doing, like I said, what really makes you happy? Are you doing what makes you happy, or are you doing what your parents told you should do? Are you doing what your parents do? Are you doing what society tells you that you have to do in order to be happy? Are you doing things where you wake up in the morning and you're excited to do that thing? The things that we really want and desire aren't going to come easy. You have to work for those things. And because they're not easy and it's not what everybody else does, we give up on it. We go against it. We let people tell us, oh, well, no, you shouldn't do that because this is going to happen. Or no, you shouldn't do that because that will happen. Or maybe you're not good enough to do that. Or maybe you don't deserve to do that. That inner voice, we have an inner saboteur that tells us, no, I don't think you should do that. You can ask for $1,000 today, $1,000 tomorrow. You can ask yourself 1,000 times for $1,000 and say, yes, I need this 1,000, I need this 1,000. But sometimes you have that inner voice that's like, do you though? And that's where we mess up. That's where our manifestation, that's where our speaking life into things, that's where that goes wrong, because sometimes we still have that inner voice, or sometimes we have outer voices that we listen to that tell us like, nah, you shouldn't do that. I don't think that's going to be right for you. And that's where it all just falls apart for us. And then we say, yeah, you're right. I shouldn't do that. I should just go and do this, what you want me to do. Even though you, that person who's telling you to do that probably didn't even do that. How many times has that happened? How many times have you wanted to do something and then somebody who is in a worse situation or the same exact situation telling you like, nah, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that. You should just do this. And they haven't even done that. So this is going to be what I got from the video and how it has changed my thoughts on my journey. So the first thing is with the dogma. With dogma for me, it was more societal dogma than religious dogma because I've never really stuck to one religion, and I've never let anybody who is religious try to force me into that. I could say growing up, maybe because I was younger, I couldn't do things on my own, but as an adult, not really, no. Anybody who's religious, like I said, I respect them and they respect me. Now, when it comes to societal dogma, now that is where I was holding myself back. Societal dogma. I felt like because I'm a mom, as a mom, there are so many different things that we face. Oh, you should breastfeed. Oh, no, you should formula feed. Oh, no, you shouldn't let your children do this until they're this age. Or you should let them do this because then they'll do that. And this child should be potty trained by then. This child shouldn't sleep in the bed with you. They should sleep in the bed with you. You have to take them to the doctor here. You have to take them. It's so much stuff as a parent, period, that we face. And so much outside judgment that just affects our everyday lives when it comes to parenting. So as a mom, I felt like I was trying to do everything that I thought society would agree with. I was trying to be a stay-at-home mom. That didn't work out. I tried to be a working mom. I like to have freedom to be able to be at home with my kids, but I also like the option to go and get a break sometimes. When I go to work, that is a break. Going through this reclaim, it has made me realize a lot about shame. I don't have to be ashamed to speak my truth. It is my truth. Whether it be something that, as a mom, I felt ashamed saying that I need a break from my kids. I felt like, oh, people are going to think you're a bad mom. People are going to think that you don't care about your kids and things like that. When I know that's not the case. And a lot of times, a lot of people didn't even say anything. It was just me telling myself that. So for me, shame was another thing that I really faced doing this reclaim. But back to this. With societal dogma, along with witchcraft, I felt like I had to practice a certain way. I had to be on this journey of positive vibes only. No. If you follow other spiritual people, if you follow other pages, a lot of times are inspirational people. It could be anybody. You see a lot of people nowadays saying, oh,
positive vibes, only positive energy, no negativity, I'm only positive, I'm all about positivity, I don't want any negativity, I don't want to do anything negative, I am all positive vibes, all the time, 100%, all day, every day.
And let me tell you something. That is unrealistic. You can't live that way. If you're living 100% positive vibes only, that means that you are not facing that dark side of yourself that everybody has. Positive vibes all the time. You're only facing the light. You're not taking in that dark. And the dark is normally where we see our real selves. In that dark moment of depression, in that dark moment of just being in your thoughts and thinking, that's when we are our most authentic selves. And we have to learn how to integrate both of those and accept both of those. Yes, you can have positive vibes, you can have positive energy, but if you're pushing back those emotions, the dark side, the negative emotions, the anger, the sadness, the pain, if you're pushing all of that back, you're just strengthening that inner shadow that you have. It's gonna take over more than if you face it. If you sit back, and this may not make sense to some people, so let me give an example. So if my husband does something and it bothers me, but I'm a positive vibes only, so I don't say anything because I don't want to argue, I don't want to fight, I'm just gonna let it go. That feeling is gonna fester inside of me. All I'm gonna think about is, oh well, he did this, so I feel some type of way about it. But I'm not gonna say anything because I'm 100 positive vibes. I'm all positivity, no negativity over here. We can't live like that because you're hiding those emotions. And like I said, it's going to fester and we all explode. You have to be able to accept your light and your dark, your positive and your negative. It's all about communication. It's all about expressing yourself without shame. Perfect example. I did shadow work a long time ago. We'll get into what shadow work is on another video because that is a part of Reclaim also. But I did shadow work where I faced some of the darkness that I was having. A lot of my anger was coming from being resentful towards my husband, because as a dad, he continued to be a provider. He got away, he got to work, he got to do things, and I felt as a mom that I couldn't do that because I had to be home with my kids. I had to be a good wife, I had to be a good mom. And he never said that to me, but I always felt that way. So I allowed myself to just sit back and fester in those emotions. We sit in our thoughts, but we don't say anything. And those feelings just get deeper and deeper and deeper until we're in a depression and we didn't even realize it until now. And that's exactly what happened with me. I was in a deep depression. I was holding everything in. And I realized I can't do that. It was only hurting me because he didn't realize it sometimes. And I didn't say anything. I acted like everything was fine. Depressed people are normally the funniest or the happiest people that you meet because they're trying to just hide everything that's going on the inside. Learning how to do this without shame, telling him like, yes, I love our kids to death, but I need a break. I need time away. I love you to death, but I need some space. I need time. That communication has helped our relationship in so many ways. We're able to talk to each other. We're able to tell each other things that a lot of relationships don't get to. Couples don't get to that point of communication until farther down the line. And we have that communication. At the end of the videos, there is a email with questions that we have to answer, whether it be in a live video on our Facebook group. I am gonna link the group. I am gonna link the group below. That way, if anyone is interested, you can definitely request to be in the group, get more information. So the questions that they had, the first question was, what dogma do you face? And I've already talked about it. Mainly it was mainly just societal dogma, trying to be the perfect wife, the perfect mom, the perfect businesswoman, just trying to be in good graces with what everyone else wanted me to be. The second question was, where have you been a do-gooder? And like I said, when I do the videos, a lot of times I meditate on the questions. That way I can get all my thoughts, all the information that I want to answer the question in the best way that I can. So for me to be a do-gooder, when I meditated, normally I just think of now. What am I doing now? What can I change now? But for some reason that day when I was meditating, I went so far back and I got so much information on what I was doing that I didn't realize. I am an overachiever. I am straight A student, great athlete, very coachable. I was cool with all my teachers. I was like teacher's pet, but I was still an athlete, so I kind of could fit in anywhere. And so for me, I realized I did all of that for the recognition. All throughout school, I stressed myself out a lot of times, especially in high school. I used to stress myself out trying to make sure that I have great grades, have great games, practice there every morning, 6 in the morning, 5 in the morning for practice, then school, then National Honor Society, then this and that, then this club, and trying to get so much stuff on my resume for school. I stressed myself out. And I did it because I love the recognition. Again, no shame in claiming your feelings and how you felt. I love the recognition. I wanted the recognition. I wanted the teachers to be like, oh, this is Desiree. She's a great student. She's a great athlete. I wanted all the trophies. I wanted all the awards. I wanted it all. I wanted to be that star athlete on my team. I wanted to be that star student. I wanted to be that person that got all the recognition for everything that I did. I loved recognition from family, from friends, from teachers, from schools. Anything I get, I loved recognition. I can say that, no shame, not ashamed of it. That's just what it was. After you graduate high school, it's like, okay, now it's all on you. What are you gonna do? What do you want to do? And for me, I never lived for myself. So I had no idea what I wanted to do. So that was a really hard time for me, and I realized that I was always seeking validation from others. And when you become an adult, the reason I fell into depression so bad as an adult is because as an adult you don't get recognition. People don't tell you, like, they don't tell you often enough that you're doing a good job, which that's fine. I shouldn't need that still as an adult, but because that's all I knew all my life was seeking validation and seeking recognition, when I became an adult, I felt lost. I was lost. I didn't know what to do. I couldn't live for other people anymore. When you're an adult, you're just living for yourself now. I knew something had to change. I knew I had to start living for myself and doing things that made me happy. And that's where I realized that with witchcraft also, I'm trying to fit in.
Well, I was. Scratch that.
I was trying to fit in and be that normal YouTuber who is positive vibes only, and you have to do things this way and this way at this time with these herbs and these crystals. But no, not anymore. I'm doing my own thing. There's no wrong way to do witchcraft. There are different sides to it, yes, but there's no wrong way. Whatever works for you, whatever fits for you, is for you. And that's how my channel is going to be from now on. There's not going to be any step-by-step process of things that you need to do. Everybody's journey is going to be different. I can't base my journey off someone else's journey. So this is just 100% authentic me. The next question was, where is it stripping you joy? Or where was it stripping you joy? With Dogma, it was stripping me of joy, like I said, in my everyday life. Finding out what I wanted to do business-wise, finding out what I wanted to do with my craft. Stripping me of joy everywhere. I was stressed, I had anxiety, I couldn't do anything. I just was losing everything because I wasn't happy. I wasn't doing what I love. The last question was, where are you giving your power away? Playing follow the leader. And I've already spoke on this also, but with my spiritual journey, as soon as I started my journey, because I'm a person who likes to research, I felt like, okay, I have to find the right way to do it. And I can give the best example. I have been into tarot and pulling tarot cards since I started my journey. But for the longest, until I did reclaim, literally until about after the second day, which I'll get more into that, but I had my cards, I had my book, I had all of this stuff for so long, and I've never pulled cards for anybody because I'm like, okay, I'm not ready. I don't know how to do it yet. In reality, everything we need to succeed in this life is already in us. I'll say that again. Everything we need to succeed in this life and on this journey is already in us. Yep. It's already in us. It's up to us to accept and believe that it's already in us in order for us to be able to succeed at those things. And like I said, for the longest, I've had my tarot cards, I've had my book, and I've never done readings for anybody. But after day 2, I just randomly started doing readings for people. I text friends and family and was like, hey, I'm trying to practice reading my cards and pulling cards. Can I do a reading for you? Can I do a reading for you? Can I do a reading for you? I ended up doing like 5 or 6 readings that day within like 3-4 hours. And they were accurate. They were amazing. I got information that I didn't even realize I got until I went back and read it. They were like, wow, that was really accurate. That gave me a lot of information. This has been happening, so that makes sense. This has been happening, so that makes sense. And I realized that this whole time I've had this calling to my tarot cards and pull to tarot and reading tarot because it has always been in me. It's something that I can naturally do. And the only thing that was stopping me was me, which is most of the time what stops us in everything we want to do is ourselves stopping, either telling ourselves that we don't know how to do something or we need to do this before we can do this, when really we need to just do it. Nike wasn't lying, okay? Just do it. And only thing you can do is, there's no failure. There's only lessons. You don't fail, you learn. and you keep going and you keep going. For anyone who is very passionate about something, it didn't come overnight. You had to learn, you had to practice, you had to work at it. And that's the same thing with everything you do in life. It's something that you learn. It's already in you. You just have to reamp it up, liven it up, put that fire under yourself, and get stuff going. With Dogma, that's the lesson. Do what you want. Do what makes you happy, because you don't want to get to a point in your life where you regret things. You don't want to get to a point in life where you say, I should have did this, or I shouldn't have listened to this, and I should have just did what I wanted to do. Because like I said, with witchcraft, I've already had so many people tell me, like, why are you doing that? Are you serious? Or is this a joke? Or, oh, you must be crazy? Or all these different things. And it's like, no, I'm not. I'm happy. I'm doing what I love to do. And you can support me or you won't. Either way, I'm going to still do what I want to do. And a lot of times that's what, for me, for this channel, my goal is to give an authentic experience, an authentic journey, basically authenticity, because I feel like as somebody who's mixed race, black and Hispanic, I don't really connect to either side because I didn't really grow up with either side of my family, really, the extended family. And so for me, I never had anyone to show me like what it looks like, how it works. Like I never had anybody introduce me into this and help me on that journey, because like I said, both sides of my family are very religious. So I couldn't just go and say, hey, grandma, can you teach me about witchcraft? Me and my grandma are very close, but my grandma is not really into that. She's very religious. And so I mean, another thing I want to achieve with this channel is I want to open up this channel for anybody really who doesn't fit in with their group or their society or their family when it comes to things like this. If you are interested, I want this to be an open channel for people to get more information, ask questions. Nothing is weird. Ask and I will answer to the best of my ability. But I want it to definitely be a space for my black and Hispanic people, my brujas and my voodoo people, hoodoo. I want to learn from you just as I would love for you to learn from me. But I want it to be an open space. That way we all have somebody to talk to about it, to be on this journey with us, to get advice, to get knowledge, anything. That was the end of day 1 for Dogma. I did a lot of ranting. I know, y'all know I always do this. Don't act surprised. But if you enjoyed, if you have any questions, definitely follow on Instagram at Grounded Beautifully. You can DM me or comment, whatever you like. Also on Facebook at Beautifully Grounded. And you can always share, comment on YouTube, everything like that. And I will definitely be posting day 2 soon. I hope you enjoy. Bye.